Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. I am Adam. This is Open Late. And tonight we are going to open. I was just going to open Mario, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to throw Peach in there as well. Because why not? And we'll see. I, spoiler alert, there is a third figure that may join the unboxing tonight, depending on, how things go with these two. Um, these came out a while ago, obviously. And I kind of broke down and decided that I didn't want to miss out on them. I was starting to see them sort of less and less often, and so I had to go and get Mario for myself. And this Peach is kind of fun as well. And then, like I said, I got a third one as well. Um, which I'll either unbox tonight or another night or do a video for. I'll probably unbox it, or there will be some post about it regardless of whether it gets open tonight or not. But if you go way back to an old, I think it was an open late, I want to say a year ago, give or take, maybe more. I actually opened another Jakks Pacific Mario and another Jakks Pacific Princess Peach. I opened the weird Tanuki, but it wasn't the bear suit. It wasn't like the suit. It was just the Tanuki ears and tail in their smaller scale figures, as well as the cat Peach, and they weren't good figures. They weren't very good figures. They weren't bad figures. They were just, the articulation wasn't great. The engineering of the articulation wasn't great. The paint apps weren't great. But I thought, I've seen a lot of reviews. These Super Mario Brothers movie figures from Jakks Pacifics were getting pretty good reviews. And I figured if I'm gonna own one sort of decent Mario, maybe this will be it. Maybe this is the one I need, and maybe it will sort of cleanse the palate of that other Mario, and sort of redeem Jakks Pacific. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I saw a lot of good reviews about these. I've got high expectations, and I don't know if that's going to be for better or worse. But we'll we'll see. But anyway, before we get into the figures, let's check out what's going on in the chat. Eldor is here. Star is here as well. Star says, well, I freely admit that I haven't been following the exploits of Mario or his family. I can't remember ever seeing Mario do any actual plumbing work. Well, Super Mario Brothers movie, if you haven't watched it already, Star, is worth watching, I would say. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of Easter eggs to, different Mario stuff, a lot of characters that you're used to, and it kind of sets up the sort of world in a way that explains why Mario doesn't do a lot of plumbing, despite the fact that he's a plumber and that's his business or whatever. They kind of do a good job of explaining how he ends up fighting the Koopas and not actually doing any plumbing. It's worth a watch, and that's part of the reason that I wanted to pick these figures up, is because I enjoyed the movie and my kids enjoyed the movie. All my kids seem to enjoy Mario. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this adorable little face, but everyone in my house seems to love Mario. So I thought, I'll get these, and hopefully these will be sort of the last Marios that I ever have to buy. Eternian Ellipse has joined us. Hello, hello. And he says those Mario figures are really cool. The Bowser is very nice, even though it's a little pricey. I will freely admit that I did not pay full price for these. I did get a bit of a deal on them. Yeah, in Canada, I think they're like $30. But I got them for a little bit less than that. And then that Bowser, I think, is about 50 at regular retail, which is in line with sort of this the current sort of action figure price and stuff like that. So I don't think they're that pricey. I just think that when you compare them to other action figures, that's the hard part, right? Is that with a lot of stuff we compare it to other stuff that we have or that we buy. And for me, like, part of the struggle of getting into a new line is like I'll compare prices, and I'll kind of look at the sort of perceived value in the figure line. And for me, like I said, Mario is not really like, Mario's great. I love Mario, and I grew up with Mario. Got original Nintendo, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Famicom for Christmas when I was like, I don't know, 6 years old or 7 years old or something like that. And I still remember it to this day. We were in Ontario, staying with my grandparents. We unboxed it on Christmas morning, but we were going to my great aunt's for dinner on Christmas Day. So I remember that my parents actually like brought it with them to my great aunt's house. We set it up at my great aunt's house, and we had well, I obviously don't have a like a Nintendo. Well, that's really glary. But I think this will work. This is going to be glary too, isn't it? Um, we didn't have the controllers, but I remember as a kid, we set it up on Christmas Day, and like the and I don't know if kids do this anymore. My kids don't do this anymore. But we were, push the button, and then when you jump, you kind of like your controller would move where you wanted the character to go. So Mario has a very cozy place in my heart. Mario will always tug those nostalgia strings, I think. In the same way that for a lot of people, like Sonic the Hedgehog does, or Mega Man does, or something like that. Like those old original Nintendo games that we grew up with, will always, I think, have a place in our hearts. So that's why I bought these, in a nutshell. Cobweb's here. Cobweb Collector says, "What's up, Adam and chat? These figures look so amazing. I'm always tempted to pick some up." That's exactly it, man. I've always been tempted since they came out. Since I sort of saw people buying them, reviewing them, talking about them, and hopefully they don't completely disappoint. The Mario figures that I got, the slightly smaller ones from Jakks Pacific, I was gonna have on to sort of reference, to sort of show the difference between those smaller ones and these ones, but my kids stole them and they won't give them back. So I had to get my own Mario figures. We'll see how long these stay in my office. To be honest, it's a real concern that these things are going to be gone, by the weekend. So, let's see. Star says, "Is Donkey Kong still in the lore?" Yes, I think so. I mean, he's in the movie. I don't know if he's still in the, like, I don't know if I think he's still, he's still in like the Mario. I still see him when like the new Mario games come out and stuff like that. I don't play video games. That's the other thing. It's like I see that there's new Mario games come out. I see that there's like new stuff. I don't follow it. Like, I had an original Nintendo, and then a couple years ago I bought a PlayStation 4. Oh, and in the middle, I lived in a house where some roommates bought an Xbox, and then they moved and left it behind. So I did technically own an Xbox. Might have been a 360. I don't even know. I have no idea how I would know what it was, but it was an Xbox of some sort. So I had original Nintendo, Xbox. Now I have a PlayStation 4. That's how often or how seldom, I play video games. I bought a PlayStation 4 so that I could play Spider-Man and Star Wars Battlefront. And then I got the G.I. Joe game. I got the Dragon Ball Kakarot game. Not a big game. Anyways, Mario figures. They look good. Let's take a look at the box. Let's get them out of the box and see what's up. See if they kind of live up to the hype. So the other Peach, the Peach with the skirt, like the classic Peach, I had no interest in getting that figure whatsoever. When the Wave 2 came out and this Peach came up, I was like, okay, that's a Peach that is a decent action figure. Now, if these are as good as I hope they are, I'm probably going to get a couple more. I'm thinking I'll probably get Luigi, I'll probably get Toad, and then the Tanuki Mario. And then I'll be done. Then I'll be done. That's all I need. This isn't, there's only, eight figures in this size in the line, and then Bowser. So it's not as though it's a line that I'm that far behind, and it's not a line that I even could get that heavily invested in. So that's sort of the saving grace. That's sort of what almost like allowed me to get a couple of them, is knowing that I won't have to get 30 of them. So I'm starting with 2 plus the other one that I got sort of next to me. And worst case scenario, I get 3 more. And then I'm done. So let's get these out of the box. Which should I open first? Should I open Mario first or Peach first? I'll go over the boxes, and then I'll let you guys decide. Whatever you guys sort of shout out in the comments is the one that I'll open first. But let's take a look at the Mario, because obviously it's Mario. It's Mario. Mario on the cover. Super Mario Brothers movie logo on the cover. Nice big open window box. It's a much bigger box than it needs to be. I mean, there's not a lot of figure in there. There's not much going on. I don't know if, like with the other figures, they kind of fill out the box. That's one kind of thing that I'm not super keen on recently, is like too much box, like too much packaging. Because I just think it's unnecessary. I just think it's like, I mean, these are a good size on the shelf, but I mean, the face out is like big enough. I don't think it needs to be, 4 inches thick. It could have been 3 inches, probably. I don't know. I don't engineer packaging, so maybe it just had to be this big. On the side, you get Mario. It's just Mario everywhere, right? Mario, 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 Mario on the side, and then Mario on the back. Surprise, surprise. I just said surprise, surprise, and it made me think of that little clip that people are putting in like Instagram videos. Do you guys know the one that I'm talking? The lady singing "Surprise, surprise." That one. Anyway, Peach. We still get Mario on the front. We still get the same logo on the front. Nice big window box. Again, does not need to be as thick a box as it is. Maybe there's a figure in the line that does need the box to be that big. I don't know. Then we get Peach on the side, Peach on the back, as well as the shell, and then Peach on the side. For some reason, there's a sticker that covers up the shell on this side. I don't know why. But anyway, there it is. Pretty basic packaging. I'm okay with that. I open everything. It doesn't really matter. Packaging for me is like, if it's really, really great, that's a bonus. And if it's terrible, I don't care. I move on and open the package, get the figure out of the box, and move on. Star was the first to say anything, said Peach should be the opening act, Mario is the headliner. Good call. I would tend to agree. That tends to be the way that I open things as well. So let's do that. I'm going to put Mario over here so you can still see him, but he'll just be sort of off to the side. Surprise, surprise. It's Mario. Attorney in the Lips, blasphemy. You own a PS4 to play naked games and you do not name Metal Gear. You do need to play the Metal Gear games. They just released a new collection, Volume 1, released yesterday. That would require me to Dirty Lips, name games, not naked. Autocorrect changed it. Okay, makes sense. You own PS4 to play name games, and you do not name Metal Gear. Okay, I actually do have one Metal Gear game, but I don't know which one it is. I didn't mention it because it was like a game that I picked up because. Now, you might know this because I heard this, and I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that Metal Gear was basically it's a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes game in everything but name. So like Solid Snake was meant to be Snake Eyes, right? He's like a sneaky, crafty commando ninja. But they couldn't get the licensing, or it didn't kind of work out the way that they had hoped. So my understanding is that basically playing Metal Gear is like playing a Snake Eyes video game, which is why I got that one. Cobweb says naked games sound fun too. We'll keep it PG, but I can assure you, naked games are pretty fun. I don't want to spoil it for any of you guys, but yeah. All right, let's get Peach out of the box. That's a nice touch, actually. Peach's box has a pink little tab, and I'm gonna assume, yeah, Mario's is red. So that's interesting. You know, like a nice little detail, nice little touch that they include. It's a really hardy box, and the insert, like in this at the back here, is pretty hard, rigid cardboard. So the outer box is pretty thin, but that bit is what gives it the structure. Not that anybody cares. I know I don't. Like 0 accessories. You get Peach, and you get the shell. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what more to say about that. And this is okay. So this Jakks Pacific coming through again with some loose joints mixed with some tight joints mixed with, you know, paint apps. There's some stuff going on here. I hope she will stand up. She's got one really loose ankle, one slightly tighter ankle. The rocker, is there ankle rocker here? Or does it just rotate and hinge? I think it just rotates and hinges. Which sucks. I'm trying to figure out if there's... It's pretty soft plastic as well. So same problems as I had with the other Jakks Pacific Peach. The paint apps aren't bad. It's just like in some spots, like it's they've painted white over pink plastic. You can I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But in the arm, the upper arm is this almost pearlescent kind of white plastic. I don't even think there's paint on it. The lower arm is clearly this pink plastic, but then the cuff and the elbow joint, they've painted white. So it's like a different finish. Now, if these were, you know, a $15 figure or whatever, I probably wouldn't care. I could get over that. You know, the Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem stuff has stuff like that going on, but those are, you know, $10 figures. Those are half the price of these. And I just wonder how they kind of do their pricing and how they kind of figure out how much this is going to cost, because for the price of you know, for the price of a G.I. Joe classified figure, like, this thing does not live up to the price. It just truly doesn't. The articulation is disappointing. There's no rocker in the ankle, so I can't, like, to get her to stand up, I gotta just like hope that she wants to stand up. And she's gonna be top heavy because she's got a big old head with a ponytail, and then this tiny little slender body. The sculpt is great. The figure itself is great. The articulation is okay. You know, the elbow goes less than 90 degrees. It won't go above there because she's got sort of a shoulder pad kind of a thing built on. You don't get extra hands, so you just get the open hands. They rotate, and that's it. Who was it that was saying that these were expensive? I'm gonna say that given what you get, these are Not, I mean, Peach at least is articulation on the neck again, because that ponytail, there's no articulation in there at all. So as soon as that ponytail hits, that's as much as she can look up. She can look down a tiny, tiny bit, but her chin then hits the scarf. So, I mean, let me just say this. This figure makes Super 7 Figures articulation look phenomenal and makes their pricing look on point. Then we get the shell, nice and chunky, no articulation at all. I mean, I would have liked the wings at least. You know, you could move the wings or something like that. So that's just a static accessory that will just sit over here, and it won't stand up either. It's not flat, so if I just put it down, it's just gonna fall over. It's not balanced well. It's a pain in the butt to even sort of get it to not fall over. There. It's not falling over. Oh well. Let's see. Cobweb Collector says they need a go-kart if they don't have one already. You can also buy, okay, I saw these and I'm like, there's like a 5 POA tiny little like line of figures that come with like pullback racer cars. I should have gone for those instead. I'm immediately realizing that I should have gone with those instead. Star, maybe the larger companies buy material in bulk and therefore get a price break where the smaller companies don't have to charge more. I don't. Yeah, I mean it's complicated. It's a complicated thing. I'm gonna open Mario. I am already kind of less hyped than I thought I was gonna be. So let's just get Mario out. Let's hope that Mario can sort of like redeem Peach. Again, like no accessories. He gets a plunger. And it's really soft, so it didn't want to come out. I would have liked to have seen like a star or a mushroom or like something like, you know, that adds some play value. I don't know what that plunger really does as far as play value, because yeah, he's not plumbing anything. Oh, come on. And he doesn't even want to come out of the package. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? All right. That's Mario out of the box. Again, weird sort of looseness to some of the joints. Like the waist is a little bit wobbly. Way better articulation than the smaller one had. There's a little bit of rocker in the ankle on this, just a single pivot at the elbow. Same problem at the knee, single pivot at the knee. It'll go about 90. The proportions are weird. Like his knee bends pretty low. Although I think that's kind of like what he looks like when he would run anyway. So that's okay. I don't mind that. There's some gold on the deco, some paint apps, a couple little like gold rivets. So that's nice. The elbow, as I said, the articulation, that's as far as it goes. It doesn't even go anywhere near 90. And it's got this weird thing at the shoulder where there's like a gap. Paint again, where like clearly this is like blue plastic that they've painted red on, but they haven't done a great job like in the crease of the collar, like where it folds over. I mean, it's a decent Mario. I think it'll be the last Mario that I buy. You know, fool me once, Jakks specific, shame on me. Fool me twice. I don't know. The sculpt's okay. It looks decent. the head again, you know, there's nothing going on. You can look left and right. Um, there is articulation at the waist. Like I think this is like some kind of ball joint, but really because of the way that they've sculpted it, he can't he can't articulate at the waist. He'd just go a little bit left and a little bit right. I think if you force it, you can go a little bit further. It's a pretty static figure, really. I guess he can hold his plunger because he comes with one holding hand and one open hand. There's no fists. There's no emotive hands. There's no uh and again, there's in the wrist, it's rotation, articulation, no ball joint, no nothing. So pretty limited articulation, top to bottom. This is definitely way better um than that other smaller one that I got, but still, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? It's a little Mario figure. That'll be the last Mario figure that I ever buy. Um, because I've learned my lesson. Now, that being said, like I'm excited. It's not Jack specific, but it's, you know, I feel like it's kind of like a similar kind of thing. I'm really I'm really looking forward to get my Chester Cheetah from Jada Toys. I haven't bought the Street Fighter Jada Toys stuff, but I've heard that it's phenomenal. So I'm just hoping that that stuff kind of you know, the other Jada stuff lives up, you know, to the hype of the Street Fighter stuff. Let me just tighten this up. We'll talk for a few more minutes. I'm not gonna open another figure. I think I'm gonna call it after these two because now I'm just bummed on these Mario figures. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Okay, what are you guys talking about in the chat here? Cobweb says the eyes follow you back and forth. Yes, the eyes are pretty cool. So they do use the kind of like the clear plastic with sort of the eye is like behind it. Like it's more similar to a real eye. It's not, but I realize it's not. But it sort of has that sort of glassiness. And they do sort of follow you a little bit. Yeah, they do sort of more in person than on the video, I think. It's not a bad figure. Like I said, it's not a bad figure. It's just not a good figure. It's not as good as I hoped it would be. It's not as good as I sort of thought it would be. Um, maybe it's been a long time since I sort of heard anybody reviewing them. I felt like everybody was saying that these are great figures. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, it's there you go. She's top heavy, so she can't stand up because she's in the ankle rocker. And I think these are gonna end up in my kids' room, and that's okay. You know, they're toys. They're toys that will be played with by kids, and that's ultimately probably, you know, where they should be anyway. So yeah. Star makes me wonder if they were better off just doing little vinyl statues if the articulation was going to be this limited. Well, that's the thing. Like these, you know, I think are about $20. They have another version that's a little bit smaller that's about $10, and then they do like mini kind of vinyl figures where you get like a 3-pack for $10. I think all of them sort of have their place. I just wonder, you know, if this offering shouldn't be better. You know what I mean? Like given given the fact that they could just buy some Marvel Legends figures, which don't have the greatest articulation in the world, but buy some articulated figures from Hasbro, and just copy those. I don't know why they would have such limited articulation. It seems odd. It seems like a design choice more than anything. You know, they've kind of gone for Mario. I can kind of get it because they've kind of gone for sculpting over articulation, but like just the way that Peach is designed is just they could have done a better job. They've just put things in the sculpt that limit articulation that don't necessarily look that great. I mean, the ponytail, the hair could have like stuck out at a slightly different angle. Um, and not limited the articulation so much. The scarf could have been sculpted a little bit lower, right? A little bit sort of looser around her neck so that when she looked down, her chin didn't bump into the scarf. So there's some choices that were definitely made that negatively impact these figures. So, I guess, final verdict, if you love Mario, this is a great little figure and the price isn't crazy. So, go ahead and get Mario, maybe get Luigi. You can get them all if you want. You're not going to get great poses out of them. It just, you're going to be, they're going to be very static, right? They're going to be very static. For my kids, it's not going to matter. They don't pose their figures. So maybe that's it. Maybe these are very much designed as toys for kids, and maybe I've sort of missed it. Maybe I was sort of hoping that these were more of like a more articulated, more sort of adult oriented action figure, and I guess they're not, right? So there's my verdict. Great toys, not for adults. All right. Attorney Lips, come on, open another, go out on a happy note. I know I'm not going to. I'm not going to bother. The other one, the other Mario figure, I will still open, but I will just do as a quick unboxing that I will record probably as soon as I'm done this. I'm going to record that one. I am also going to be recording another G.I. Joe unboxing from the Classified series. Stay tuned for those. I've got. I'm having fun doing the recorded ones actually, because I can actually do a couple takes. If I say something that sounds really stupid, I can I can edit it out, and I can do those ones at 1080p instead of 720. So I hope you guys are watching those ones. Let me know what you think of those in the comments on this video, on the comments of those videos. Just let me know if you guys like those or not, or if I should just do everything live like this. I think I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing as far as like open late on Wednesday, focusing on stuff like this where it is late. It's not these aren't the newest things. It'll be more of like a chat and kind of hang out type thing. And then the latest and greatest, I think I'm going to do as recorded unboxing / quick reviews, and just do some variety in the content that way. Sundays are always going to be live. Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're always going to do highly articulated or monkey business, or, if I come up with another format or whatever show title, they're all the same. It's just me chatting with people about toys. But that's not going to change. That's always going to be live, unless I'm out of town, like I will be in a couple weeks for Legion's Con, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll definitely have something come out that day, but it might just be a pre-recorded video, whether it'll be a conversation or just a review or something like that. We will see. But Star says you can't beat live. Half the fun is getting to hang out with you guys. Recorded takes that away. Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing for me, Star. It would be impossible for me to get the time. It would be impossible for me to make the time to do a video for everything that I want to unbox if I had to do them live. What I mean by that is I can sit down and bang out, 5 or 6 or 7 recordings for unboxings on a night where I don't plan to, where, the kids go to bed. I don't have anything scheduled, get dinner and get the kitchen all kind of cleaned up and tucked away, get the kids tucked into bed. And I can just do a bunch of videos, and I can spread that content out over a week or two. Whereas if I do the live, you know, I set the time, I set the schedule, I have sort of a set amount of time. It's not as easy. Basically, you would get less. So what I'm basically sort of setting up, and what I'm essentially saying is that, like, I'm gonna continue to do lives when I can, and they're probably gonna be Wednesday nights and Sunday afternoons. And then the recorded stuff is like filler that won't fit those times, if that makes sense. So you're getting more, like, you're basically going to get more content on highly articulated channel as a result of me doing recorded stuff and adding that to the live stuff. The live stuff's not going anywhere. It's kind of where I started, and it's fun because I don't have to edit anything. So as soon as I'm done, you know, I shut it down and walk away, and then it lives in the interwebs, and I don't have to do anything with it. Whereas the edited stuff, you know, it takes, you know, I record it, do some editing, like I said, take some stuff out, do the thumbnail, set it all up. It does take me a little bit longer to do them that way. You know, a 10-minute video takes a few hours versus, you know, if we go for 45 minutes, it takes me 45 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes to sort of set all this stuff up, 45 minutes live, 5 minutes to tear it all down. And like I said, it's done and dusted. I don't think anything of it after that. The recorded stuff, it's weird, man. You know, when I do live stuff, I don't think too much about how I'm saying things, or the fact that I say or or whatever the case may be. When I record stuff and then I have to watch it back before I put it out, I realize that there's a lot of things that I need to work on. So it's like a weird thing where I'm way more critical of myself for the recordings than I am with the live stuff. And I think anybody that does recorded content is in the same boat. It's, you know, because you're watching it back and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I should have done this differently. I could have done this better. Whereas live, we're just winging it. I'm just hanging out. We're just chatting, because I agree, Star. Like, it's just fun for me to hang out. It's fun for me to, like, chat with you guys, and you know, play with toys and stuff with friends. It genuinely is. I wouldn't do this if I wasn't having fun. Um, but you know, I can't do this every night. My wife says I'm not allowed. So so I have to do some pre-recorded ones just to get, you know, the unboxings done. I think, you know, I think that these toys are so cool, and I want to document them and sort of express my opinion on them. And so I've found that I've, like, you know, I end up with a stack of toys that I'm just like waiting for when I'm going to open them, and I want to, like, record it. So it's like I have to do the recordings so that I can unbox the toys. Otherwise, I would just be buried under a mountain of unboxed toys. So that's where I'm at. Um, Cobweb says editing does suck. I respect it so much more now. I'm doing it myself, and I'm just learning how to do it on the fly. I have no business doing any of the stuff that I'm doing. Cobweb says everything you're saying is so true. Yeah, it's just it's man, I'm having fun, and I'm having fun with my toys, and I have way more fun with my toys once they're out of the box. And so I don't like staring at them in boxes, just sort of hanging out. So anyways, just a quick reminder for anybody that you know, either wasn't aware or hasn't sort of entered yet. I am giving some stuff away. I hit 500 subs. I did my 50th episode of Highly Articulated. So I'm going to give some stuff away. I'm giving away a couple G.I. Joe Classified figures. I'm giving away a Mythic Legions figure. I'm giving away an AWOC figure. I'm giving an AWOC turnaround shot away. So check out episode 50 of Highly Articulated for details on that in a nutshell. You got to pop over on that video in the comments. Let me know your favorite character from your favorite IP. And then tune in this Sunday for the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom prizes. And next Sunday, November 4th, for the Mythic Legion and the G.I. Joe classified figures. Super simple. Oh, and you have to subscribe. And you have to be watching those episodes to win those prizes. So super simple. Subscribe, comment on episode 50, watch the show. It's that easy. Bing, bang, boom. Nice, nice, nice. Free stuff. Anyway, that's all I got today. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure. Like I said, I do genuinely enjoy hanging out with you guys. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. We will be back on Sunday with Monkey Business. Brick and I will be talking about AWOC stuff. And then I will be back next Wednesday. I don't know what I'm going to be unboxing yet. I've got sort of a stack of stuff to unbox for Open Late. I've got a stack of stuff to unbox for sort of recordings. And I'm trying to figure out, how the scheduling is going to work. But it's not as easy as it seems. There's a whole lot to sort of decide. But anyway, I won't bore you guys with the details. Tune in next time. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. It's always more fun to unbox toys with friends. So hopefully you guys will come back and join me again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.